Hi, Doctor. It's so cool to see you again. How are you?
Hello. I'm like most people. I don't really know yet. It might take another couple of years before we really figure that one out. But with everything that's happened and everything where we are, yeah, great. I mean, a lot better than I have been for the last 2 years. Put it that way. Yeah.
How have you coped during lockdown?
Um, well, that's quite it's quite a tale, isn't it? And everyone's sort of, we're all, without boring everyone with lockdown tales, we've all kind of been through there. The first bit was a struggle. And I think many artists went through that where, I mean, 2020 was going to be our busiest year for 35 years, seriously. And then to watch that all go within the space of 2 weeks, it was quite a lot to take, really. But then you look around and you saw what other people were going through, and you thought, well, do you know what? I can sort this out, and gave myself a bit of a kick up the backside, and just did what we had to do to get through, and here we are. And yeah, and
And
we're
live music's back on. Festivals are back on.
well, absolutely. Instead of talking about lockdown, we're talking about gigs and we're talking about things on. In fact, I was talking to a sound guy because obviously when you're doing festivals, you prep them. For me, January, February, March, I've kind of done the summer, apart from the later ones that come in. And I was out for a ride on my bike yesterday to try and keep the old frame me moving, not the bike. And I got a call from a sound guy, and I was just talking to him, and they're saying that a lot of guys went out of business and everything
Yeah.
else, and they're all trying to get gear together. And he said, and this problem, and I said, yeah, but isn't it brilliant that we've got these problems? These are the problems we've wanted for 2 years, and now we've got them. And he said, no, absolutely. So I said, look, whatever you got, we'll do. We're not going to turn up and start whinging and whining. Oh, I wanted a different mic to that. Not at all. We will gladly step on, and I'll sing through a megaphone if I have to. Um,
I'm sure I've seen you so many times, and I think you're just totally awesome live. But the next gig you've got, well, it's a big festival, isn't it? Irlam Live next weekend.
yes, and we haven't done it. I looked at it because we did it a couple of times when it started, and I couldn't believe when I looked at the date sheet, and it was 2015 since we were last there.
Yeah. But
And
it's been
it's
running 6 years now. This is the
yeah,
sixth one. Yeah.
yeah, and it's absolutely it's a wonderful event. That every event we do is wonderful, but that one's lovely because I think we were kind of there almost at the dawn of it, and so it was lovely to get to know Phil and everybody. And the thing I like about it is everybody organizing it, everyone behind it
Yeah.
is kind of there for the
For
for
the
the
moment.
right
Yeah,
reasons,
yeah,
and that
yeah.
kind of love for what everyone's doing exudes. And it's a nice one to turn up at, and a nice one to be lovely. And it's a great arena as well, isn't it? The field just
It is,
works.
and it's such a friendly atmosphere. Like it's a fun family event. There's Thursday, Friday with tribute acts, isn't it? I think you're on Sunday, aren't you?
Yeah, we are on Sunday. And just to reflect a little bit back to what we were talking about, you're still talking to people who aren't sure about going to fest. They're
Yeah.
still not sure. And I think what's happened with a lot of people is they've got a mentality. It's kind of like almost like an institutionalized mentality. I had to have a word with my mum recently because she said, "Oh, do you know what? I don't really need to go out. I've got used to
Yes.
everything here." And I said, "Mum, you're a social animal. You do need, we don't need to go out like like you need water and air, but we do need it. We're social animals. If when they used to put chimpanzees in cages on their own, they would go mad for a reason. And that's what will happen to us. So
Yeah.
people have to kind of get out of that bubble a bit, and they have to kind of think, do you know what? If I'm going to take the plunge, because now
Absolutely.
you've got to get out there. It's good for your body and it's good for your soul. So anyone who's kind of umming and ahhing, if you haven't been for a while, come on,
It's
get
definitely
down there.
worth it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Last night, I went to a gig last night. I went to see Go West and Paul Young, and went with my best friend. And you come back and you just feel amazing. It's just so fantastic to see live music again. And the lineup for your festival is incredible, isn't it? You've got Marty Peller, you've got Hue and Cry, you've got Bananarama, you've got Fats and Small, you've got Boys Life. I think you've got so many different really good acts.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, I do now. I DJ on 365 radio, and one of the shows I do is on a Saturday. I do the Legacy Chart Breakers, and it's all A legacy act is an act who's been around for 20 years or more. And what I like is the resurgence with these bands. It's not just, both live and recording. This, they're very, very, it's wonderful to see them flowering. We didn't have this platform years ago, did we? It just wasn't there. But now people are kind of appreciating, I think, what us old timers can do. Yeah, we're not so bad after all, are we? And I think we come from an age where performance was an integral part of your job, of what you did, of what you wanted to do. And I think that, people appreciate that now. So wonderful lineup, and great to see the bands playing and recording and releasing new material. Brilliant.
Now I'm going to ask you about your new material in a moment, but one thing I wanted to ask you, last time I saw you, you were doing a bit of comparing, a bit of hosting at Rewind, in which you were absolutely incredible. I know that people were really impressed by that. But at Irlam Live, is it just singing, or are you doing a little bit of presenting as well?
As far as I know, I'm just singing.
But you are available.
I mean, you've got to understand. It's my life is chaos at the moment. I sit down in the office. I had to the reason I mentioned I went out cycling the other day. I was literally sitting here for hour after hour after hour, and I was that chimpanzee in the cage going slowly mad, just with the amount of work and the promoters, the sound, everybody, because everything's being compressed into this short amount of time. And you're gigging, it's quite difficult to squeeze it all in. So if I get a call from someone now and someone asks me about a gig, without looking at my notes, I'm like, yeah. But no, I'm pretty sure we are just singing at Irlam. Yeah, we are just performing at Irlam Live.
At Irlam Live, it is the Queen's Platinum Jubilee weekend. So, every time I see you, you're dressed in something really incredible, eccentric, looking really amazing. Are we going to expect something a little red, white and blue, perhaps?
Do you know what? I do have one, and it's it only makes an appearance every now and then because it's quite old.
Okay.
But yeah, it looks okay from the crowd. But on stage, it's dying of natural causes. Some of my stage gear has died of that. It's been that old. In fact, So do you know what? Until you mentioned it, because I knew about the Jubilee and I've been that caught up with everything, I forgot that was that weekend. Yes. So yeah, what a wonderful time to be able to go on stage and perform. Absolutely.
And we will see you with all your full makeup, won't we? And looking as
well.
If
I didn't put that on, everyone would say, "Who's that greying old bloke on the stage?" I don't think anyone would know who I was. They said, "Get the roadie off."
How does it take you to get all that on?
About 2 minutes these days. Right. I can do it with my eyes closed. It's the muscle memory is you get used to it. In fact, one year back, I think it was 86 or 87, I've forgotten, but no, there was a 12-month period where we did between 250 and 300 shows in a year. Wow. And I was thinking of getting them tattooed on because I'd sit down every night and no, exactly. No, I'm glad I didn't. But I might still, for me, I might just, for my 70th birthday, what the heck? They fall, the makeup falls onto my face. It knows where to go now.
Oh, fantastic. New music then. Tell me a little bit about new music, because you've got, is it Forever and Ever? Is that correct?
Well, I've been a bit naughty, really, because we're working on an album called The Optimal Mystic. And when I say working on it, we started it in 2005. So it's 17 years, I think. Yeah, 17 years. Well, I should explain, we haven't been in the studio every day for 17 years. It's kind of gone through various incarnations with various lineups and the availability of studio and people. But it just so happens that now with the current lineup, and of course we have Dan, our guitarist, who doesn't play on stage with us so much these days, but he's producing it in his lovely little studio. And it is now, I'm listening to it and I'm going, yeah, that's good. So what I did was we had a video edited together for that particular song because it's being featured in a zombie movie. And I saw it was World Goth Day on Sunday. So I thought, oh, go on, let's stick this one out because it's very gothy. And the reaction has been brilliant, but it's not being released as such because it's called the Nearly There mix. And
yes, I saw that you said the Nearly There mix.
Yeah, we've still got bits to do on it, but I thought, I'll put it out, and the reaction has been fantastic. One of people like it. Yeah. And the funny thing about when we put a track out, people go, oh, it's actually quite good, as though they're expecting us to put out something a bit rub it, so people have been surprised by it, I think, and it's kind of like a taste of what the album is. So as things come together, we'll have it more officially released and everything, but it is on all the social platforms and everywhere, so people feel free to share it and stick it out, because that is the shape of things to come. We're trying to get it out in time for our 40th anniversary, which is in September this
I
year.
was just going to mention that, because I was going to say it's 40 years, 1982, isn't it, since you got the band together originally?
Yeah, I think September the 19th was the date of our first gig. And we got together 2 weeks before our first gig for a bet. Someone bet me I couldn't do it. Never do that. Never, ever do that, anyone. Never bet me I can't do anything. It's the words bull, rag and red come to mind. And here I am 40 years later. Thank you, Alex Bienkov, for telling me I couldn't do this. It's been the best bet I've ever won, although he never paid me. So there we are. No, but
how much was the bet then?
£5, which, but that was 1982. A £5
and
now
inflation, yeah, absolutely.
£5 now is worth at least £10 billion. So it's been great, but we've done very little really. I suppose, the 40th anniversary, we should be doing more, but there we are. We'll get there.
So, Doctor, for anybody that hasn't yet bought a ticket for Irlam Live, next weekend, Thursday, Friday, tribute acts, Saturday, Sunday, sort of all the main acts are on stage. What would you say to them to get them to come out and have a fantastic time at this awesome family festival?
Well, I'd just emphasise what I said earlier. If you've got any reservations, you can have those reservations for years. You've got to do something about it, And so if you've not been to a festival, if you've not been to a live event yet, make this the one. If you're umming and ahhing, just go, because you'll regret it if you don't. And if you go, I can guarantee you'll go away, because I always say that at events like that, the ripples of happiness go beyond the weekend. They go beyond the boundaries of the field. They'll permeate into your life. They'll physically and emotionally and every way possible. It will make you feel happier and better. And you'll be with people celebrating music. And what a weekend to celebrate it, the Queen's Jubilee.
Absolutely.
If you're sat at home watching the telly, you can record it. You can watch it another time. Come and join us and properly celebrate.
Oh, Doc, you always make everybody feel so good. You're always so positive. We love you lots. I can't wait to see you next weekend. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Been an absolute pleasure again. And look forward to seeing you at Irlam Live.